So next we're going to have Ed Marshall, who's one of our committee members, and in a new slot that we're introducing we're bringing it in bi-monthly for the Zoom meeting. Ed's going to give us a bit of an update on some of the interesting topics that he's spotted in the Round the Table magazine. So just in case you've not had a chance to have a look at it yourself yet, or you might have missed it, over to you, Ed.
Oh, thank you very much, Carla. Great to see you all here this morning. Well done for making the effort to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 8 o'clock so we can get a real positive start to the day. And talking about a positive start for the day, Round the Table. I mean, we've said that it's worth its membership fee alone in terms of MDRT, the content that you get from Round the Table. To put it into perspective for what this means to me, when I'm eating my lunch, normally at my desk, I like to read something. And how easy is it to get distracted by news headlines from FT Advisor or New Model Advisor or the BBC or whatever? And it's kind of the headlines, it's kind of dopamine fueled, and it's not good. What you want is something that's going to be uplifting, that's going to really give you that injection of energy and perhaps some thoughtfulness for the rest of the day. So that might take the form maybe from a communication that I've had from Dan Sullivan, strategic coach, maybe from the Back Rack, which is a program that I subscribe to, or indeed, as soon as this drops in through the post, it's checking out Round the Table. So I wanted to share with you perhaps a few things in this particular January-February edition that really spoke to me. And I couldn't sum it up better, really, than Randy Scritchfield, first VP, who sets out really everything that we should expect to be able to get from this year and also from MDRT as well. And he starts off in his opening by saying there's a useful adage that I first heard on the MDRT annual meeting main platform stage in 1989. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it that makes the difference. And he says he's heard that the same sentiment and variations of it for many years in his career. And let's face it, this past year, we've been tested on that adage in so many ways. But MDRT members always rally. And we see that here on the meetings that we have each month in the UK. Individually is necessary, and when we can together in groups small and large. We work together in our local communities and in gatherings with members from around the world, sometimes in the same room or on the same virtual call. Now, he also then goes on to talk about reflecting on a new take of what MDRT stands for. And the one that he's focused on here is members determined to respond together. And my take on that is, well, we know that as a community, as part of MDRT, we're way stronger together because look at all the knowledge and the learnings that we share here every single month, and also the learnings that we share with the wider MDRT community at events when we meet globally. So he says members are determined to respond by being together as much as they can, even though we often cannot meet in the ways we've grown accustomed to. And as we start this new calendar year, he says, remember what else MDRT has available for you as well. Now, the resource zone is something I think that can get very much overlooked, just as Round the Table could end up getting buried in a pile of other paperwork. So Randy says, check out the resource zone because there are hundreds of videos, articles, and audio recordings from recent MDRT virtual meetings in a multitude of languages. So he says, let them help, guide, and entertain and educate us in the months ahead. Again, great fodder when it comes to wanting something to keep me going whilst I'm perhaps having my lunch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And he wraps up by saying, as we begin 2021, we don't know what challenges we will face, but I know that both individually and collectively, we will respond to them as well as anyone can, and with the flexibility and adaptability MDRT members have always shown. And 2021 is going to be an exciting year indeed. I just wanted to pick out on a few articles briefly as well that caught my eye. And if you're ever asked to contribute to Round the Table, do so, because they're always really keen to hear from members. And if they reach out asking you if you can contribute, I certainly had the opportunity to last year, and I've loved seeing little snippets of what I sent through to the editor appearing almost every couple of months. And one in particular was Show Off the Garden, where we just mentioned about a competition that we had with our clients called Bloom in Isolation. Everybody was tending to their gardens last year, so we tied it in with a charitable donation as well. And we had tens and tens of clients sending in pictures of their gardens, which was a wonderful thing. We got a really good response from our clients for that. A couple of other articles in the magazine that have really caught my eye is about how we've helped our clients who own businesses to actually find their way through this pandemic. A lot of our clients have struggled with businesses. And let's face it, we're a pretty entrepreneurial, resourceful bunch. And it's really great to see Stephen Kagawa, a Californian member, actually talk about how he helped a business owner who owns a restaurant adjust and pivot within his business to move from in-person dining to being able to do takeaways, but not just simply deliver it, but actually make it profitable as well. There's also a section in the magazine called Tips and Technology. And one particular item in Tips and Technology are the real-time translator earbuds. You can actually have earbuds and they will translate from multiple languages into English or back again, so you can have real-time translation happening in your ears. I didn't even know this technology was out there, and here it is in the MDRT magazine. There's a really, really good section in this particular magazine as well called In Practice, and it's about advice to boost business success. And it's got 10 tips to boost productivity, the importance of praise, and perhaps one that's really important in this current environment, because it still amazes me how many people haven't got their virtual environment sorted out. i.e., if you're going to be meeting your clients, you spend a lot of time and attention making sure that your office looks good, that the meeting rooms are comfortable, that you've got a good environment, a good atmosphere. But how many of us have spent time making sure that our virtual environment is what we want it to be? And so get ready for your close-up, how to host video calls that look professional and inviting. There's also an article from Troy. Those of you a couple of months ago that were on the call will remember Troy from Australia talking to us about how he looks after his clients. It's time to go beyond transactional advice and move to strategic advice. A fantastic 2 pages from Troy. And of course, let's remember that we've also got a fantastic article here on our very own Simon Lister. Bit of a pin up there going on, Simon, thank you very much, where he talks about what it is that brought him into MDRT, what he loves about it. Again, sharing his tips for success about what has made him a successful advisor, and summing up by saying, invest in yourself. So I hope that you all get as much pleasure out of reading this every month as I do, but in case you've forgotten about it, in case it's ended up being buried, I'd urge you to pull it back out and perhaps spend a few minutes over lunch as I do and enjoy. Thank you very much.